Welcome back to the Caribou Data Science channel. I'm getting ready to run my final data report for today, which this is for the COVID-19 analysis for the United States. So let's just go ahead and run the report. If you're interested in the code itself, I'll have a link in the bottom of this description to both the database and the R code I'm using to generate this report. Skip the summary, let's get right to the details. Okay. Cases, U.S. cases by day. This is encouraging. We are seeing a downtrend here. A downtrend here, and the decline even down to here, which is a very good news. Okay. For once again, daily numbers. Uh, the 14-day average spiked back here in the first part of April, as you would expect, followed by decline. Then in June, it began to increase a little bit over the 1,000 cases per or 1,000 deaths per day per day. But yet the moving average continued to stay pretty low. This number isn't even close to this number yet, and hopefully, I pray to God that that we're actually seeing the final decline number of deaths to return down to the 0 deaths and 0 cases, God willing. Weekly cases, no one surprise. I guess the thing I want you to point out is that this is the U.S. weekly cases, and the minimum weekly cases was about, so what is 100,000, about 150,000 per week. The minimum cases is 150,000 per week. $50,000, which would work out to 7.8 to 8 million cases uh, per year. But of course, we've seen, and that's the lowest. But of course, that isn't going to happen because it's right here. This spike pretty much pushes the average or the number of cases above that 7.8 million per year. Death rates. Well, death rate is it's not great, but it really isn't keeping up with the cases. Uh, the lowest death rate was under, let's say, 4,000 deaths per week. Which, if we could, which would be 208,000 deaths a year, but I think we're once again we're way too close to that 200,000. Well, and what are they saying? $200,000 deaths by end of the year. Well, I hate to say it, but I think they're being optimistic. Well, we did have a decline. We have to see what happens this week because in order for it to stay about 200,000 for the next through January 20th. Okay, for a full week, for a full 12 months, this number is going to have to decline. It's as simple as that. Well, the deaths are holding pretty steady. They need to decline. The death rate needs to go down. Let's see, weekly change in death rates. From a high of 8% down to the current 2%, which leads to an estimated lives being changed by week based on the difference between the maximum 9.1% and the current and the death rate percent for that reported week. The good news is, and it is good news, lives are still being changed due to the low death rate. Okay. Well, this is a down. This is still a good news. It's still over 300,000 lives being saved a year. Total cases by month. April was the first spike. It's been dwarfed by the number of July, which is well over 150,000, which is well over 1.5 million, close to 2 million cases in July. And in August, in the first 2 weeks, it's already caught the previous high back in April. Deaths by month. Interesting enough, April still has the highest number of deaths, even though July had the highest number of cases. Interesting, huh? Death rates over 6%, 7% for the month of April. Decline, spiked back up here in August to 2%. Estimated lives saved by month. That spiked back in July at over 80,000. Currently, over 40,000 lives saved first 2 weeks of August, based on the difference between the two, the maximum death rate and the death rate for that month so far. Weekly mean cases. With good news is cases has shown a decline. Deaths, average number of deaths per week, declined a little bit here. Monthly cases by month, the first spike in April, dwarfed by July. And now for the first 2 weeks of August, cases has almost caught July's high. No, certainly past July's high. Average number of deaths by month, big spike in April, decline, back up. So the average number of monthly cases was the first 2 weeks of August was 1,000. So there we have the final data report. Hope you found this informative and helpful. Help you make a more informed decision about what's really going on with the COVID-19 virus in the U.S. And finally, if you find this video helpful, like and share, and also, most importantly, click on that red button down the bottom right-hand corner to subscribe today to the Caribou Data Science Challenge, so that you can keep up to date on all my activity. And of course, as always, the links to both the database and the code will be in the description below. Final thing to do is to upload this to the US.